junk journal with me as I make a layout for a recent day out on the town. And I'm doing something a little different in this video. I have turned my craft desk around so that my bookshelf is behind me instead of to the side of me like it has been since we moved into our place a couple of months ago. And I thought this orientation would be easier because then I could show you my pages as I am making them and you can see the work as it's happening. This comment here will take you back to the original video that I shared my haul of the stuff that I got that day if you want to see everything I picked up. But you're not seeing all that in this video. In this video, I want to focus on putting a spread together. So let's junk journal. I do have a pile of ephemera that I collected that day, so I will walk you through this and then we'll see how we end up putting it on the page. Now this particular day was pretty busy. It was a Saturday, and when I got up in the morning and got to check my social media feeds, one of the things that I saw early on was that someone that I know had passed away. She was a genealogist and she lived in Indiana, and I got to meet her several years ago. So in my junk journal, I want to have some reference to her. So this is a map that was sent to me by Connie. I'll tag Connie here. But Connie sent me a Happy Mail package that I did a video about and included this vintage map of the Eastern United States. So in this map, it is including the town where this lady was from. It happens to be my husband's hometown. So this is the city she's from is Evansville, Indiana. So we see that right here on the map. So I want to have that on my junk journal page so that I can journal a little bit about her. When I went out that day, I was stopping at a gas station and a new car wash was opening up. So the guy handed out the flyer. So you know I'm going to put that in the journal. And then that afternoon, I went out to Sarasota with my daughter and we went to meet someone who was visiting in town. And we spent a few hours hanging around Sarasota, particularly the St. Armands area. That was really cool. So I got some ephemera that I want to include in the junk journal. One of the places that we went to in St. Armands Circle was a cute little gift shop called Garden Argosy. And I got this sticker, it says Florida, and it's a 3D sticker. You can scan the QR code and it comes to life. And I also got a book of pirate stickers. I do collect pirate things because I'm in the Tampa Bay area and pirates are a huge thing here. So I like to have pirates, not only for myself and the things that we do as a family, but for sending out state swaps because pirates are a big part of our area. So I like to share that with others. Now I got excited because the shop owner, she put the sticker in a little bag and then she put the book in its own bag. Now I don't know if I'll actually get to include these in the layout, but we'll try and see what we can make out of it. As we were out wandering around the circle in the different shops and the areas, I had to use the restroom. But we stopped at Ben & Jerry's and you had to be a paying customer. So I paid for a postcard. Why not? It can go in my junk journal. So I got this from Ben & Jerry's ice cream. We had lunch at a restaurant there in the circle called Cha Cha Coconuts, and I'd taken this piece of paper that was wrapped around our utensils, and I thought that would pretty much be all the ephemera that I could get. However, I do like to ask whenever I go to a restaurant if they have any ephemera they can give me. So I asked, and my server came through. Kids meal, y'all. Kids menu. So this is so cool. I'm going to try to incorporate this into the spread as well. When we first started walking around St. Armands Circle, one of the things that I saw was a newsstand that had about 6, 7, 8 different newspapers in it, local newspapers. You know I had to grab one of each one, right? So what I did for my layout was I pulled some pages from some of those newspapers to see if I might incorporate them. So these are a few pages from those local papers. After we left St. Armands Circle, after saying goodbye to my colleague who had been visiting in town, my daughter and I went to Books A Million. I don't have a Books A Million close to me. I think the one we did have closed down. So since I was down there in Sarasota and I had seen on the map that they have one, I made a stop and I did get some things as witnessed by the shopping bag, but particularly I got some sticker books. So for the layout, I just pulled a few stickers because whenever I pick something up, like I buy something like a sticker book or thrift books for my junk journaling, I like to try to include something from that item in the page for the day when I junk journal about that day, and then I organize the rest of it into my different categories. So these are the stickers that I pulled from the sticker books that I got at Books A Million. And then when I came home and opened up and checked my mail, I did have Happy Mail, including this postcard from a postcard exchange that I'm participating in. I decided I'm going to put the postcard into the junk journal layout instead of my state swaps junk journal because I'm not quite ready to do a whole I'm not collecting postcards from every state yet. So for this one, I'm going to put this in today's spread. So that gives us a lot of things to work with, and let's see what we can make for the layout. Now I junk journal in a composition notebook that I convert. This is my April junk journal. Harvey on the cover. It's a movie based on a rabbit. Rabbits go with the month of April, right? So the first decision I do is cover up the blank pages. I don't like looking at them. I don't like to see them. So what I did was I put the kids menu on one side and decided to leave it so that I can open it up. So this way, when I look at the journal page, I'll see the menu and whatever I'm about to put on the top of it, but then I've expanded my journaling space by having this area on the inside. And then on the opposite side, I've made this a shopping moment. So I have the bag from the little gift shop, and I'm going to keep the handle. I've done this before in a junk journal. I think it's just a nice little element to have, something cool. And I put the Books A Million logo here at the bottom of this side. So let's see what I can do next. Okay, I've made some additions to the inside flap of the menu. So now I have put on the inside the flyer from the car wash, along with his business card, as well as the business card from the shop that I went to that's over here. And here I've laid down the insert from a piece from the map that shows Evansville. Now I did decide to include Nashville because I was living in Nashville at the time. So I had driven from Nashville up to Evansville. So I'm going to use this as a reference point when I talk about the person I knew who passed away. So now I'm going to, I think, take some of the pages from those local newspapers and use them to decorate the inside of this and maybe throw some down on that side. So let's see what we can do. Yes, even more ephemera added, and let me show you. So I've taken the newspaper. One of the papers I got was Sarasota City News. Since I was in Sarasota, I had to put that here. And then on the inside of the flap, we've added some more items cut out from the newspapers. So I did do that. Now I want to share with you, there's another page that I pulled to use in my junk journal. And it is a page about, and I have to cover up my friend here because of, being online. But this is an exhibit at the Ringling Museum, which is down in Sarasota. Now I haven't been, but this is a museum of this is a exhibit of Japanese art. And so I decided I would not put this in my junk journal. Instead, I junk journal in my traveler's notebook, and I'm building this out. And I am quickly developing an affinity for Japanese stationery. So in my traveler's notebooks, I have items that are from Japanese companies. I have a Jibun Techo and the Jibun books, the idea books to journal in. So I do add things in here. In fact, I think you probably just caught a glimpse. This is one of my spreads. I put things in here. So I'm going to save this to use for junk journaling in here. So I'm not going to use this today. It's going to go in my Jibun Techo or in another part of my traveler's notebook. Now, I do have additional things to add, so let me wrap up by getting those added to the page. And we have a layout. I made the postcards a double flip, so they will both flip up, and I will come back and journal in underneath those. I added my pirate stickers. I put my Florida sticker over here, and inside I added more stickers to decorate this more fully. And because it's my April junk journal, I needed something that tells me this is April, and so I did add in a couple of springtime Easter related stickers here. So this is my spread. What a wonderful day I had. What a fun layout.